Hey guys, so this is my eyeshadow palette declutter. This drawer is where I keep kind of all the eyeshadow palettes I don't use as often, but for the most part I don't keep my most loved eyeshadow palettes in drawers. I keep them more out where I can see them. And here is where I keep my eyeshadow palettes that I use most often. This is actually like a letter organizer that I got from HomeSense, which is the same as Home Goods. It has 3 different compartments, so you can see back here is 1, then 2, and then 3. Well, I guess it technically has 5 because these are split up. But I actually find that this is really good storage. So if you ever are in like a Home Goods type store, look for their letter organizers in their office section because they often have great stuff like this. This was only like $16.99. It was a steal. Hi everybody, so today I am doing, my long-awaited eyeshadow palette declutter. Here's my Makeup Geek shadows in this Z palette. Not getting rid of this. I'm still testing them out, seeing how I like them. These 2 top rows are all of the duochrome ones, or at least when the original release of the duochrome ones. And then these are just singles that I chose myself. So still playing around with that, so that's a definite keep. Next is this artist palette from Anastasia. I love the formula on Anastasia shadows, love them. Love the brush that every palette comes with, it's great. There's a lot of shadows in here that I think are really wonderful and beautiful, like Dusty Rose, for example, is so pretty. It's just like a perfect color. I like the purple, I like this orange you fancy, like they're really cute, but I never use this palette because I just think it's so weird. Like all of the shades don't really go together. I literally never use this, and I'm just gonna pass it along to somebody who will. I have enough Anastasia shadow where I don't really need this, so I don't think I've used this in like probably at least 1.5 years. Oh my gosh, this has so much powder and or dust on it. The e.l.f. Need It Nude palette. I did do like a review on this when I first got it, not when it first came out. And I just don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like the quality of it. I think I keep hearing that the matte one is good, but I don't want to try. So I'm just gonna get rid of this one and forget about e.l.f. shadows for now. This is in my makeup use up, which is why it has a sticker on it. The Naked 2 Basics palette from Urban Decay. Now I'm not planning on like using up the whole palette. I just want to hit pan on one of the shades in here, and I have a little dip going on in Skimp there. I actually really love this palette. I think it's great for pairing with singles, for traveling, just for like general use when you don't know what matte shades to use with the shadow you're using. So I use that all the time. This Buxom palette, oh, this is gonna be tough. On the one hand, I like the quality of these a lot. I did a rehaul and this was in it recently. On the other hand, I never ever use this because it just doesn't inspire me at all. This is gonna, you know what, this is gonna have to be a thinker for a second. I love the packaging on it. This is one I made myself, and yes, you guys, I do know that I could take this out and I could replace some shades, but when you buy it all together, you get a deal on the shadows. When you buy the singles, they're $15 each. When you buy the whole palette, it's $50, so you're saving money. So for me to go out and buy new shades at $15 a piece makes no sense. So I'm just gonna put this to a side for now because I do like the quality. I'm just not sure about that one yet. I do know that I don't want this Buxom palette. This is a holiday palette from 2015 that was called Look All You Want. Again, quality is not the issue. I just don't like this palette. I don't think it goes together. I don't like this shade here. It's like this really weird shimmery, that's a horrible swatch. It's this really weird shimmery duochrome, and so you can't really use it as a highlight. And it's kind of chunky. I don't know, it just doesn't look good as a lid shade either. So this one is going to go. This is the most recent one I put together for myself, and what I did with this one is instead of trying to create a cohesive palette, I just bought 6 different metallic shimmery shades. For my intention is basically to use them as if they were singles, and I think they're all beautiful. I have done that a few times where I've used them singly and I really love them. I can't really tell you the names because it would take too long on the back of each shade, but let me know if you want to know the names. But look at that purple with that shimmer in it, like so pretty. The brushes in here are really useless. I should just throw them out because they just fall. But I really like the packaging on this one the best too. This is a definite keep. No brainer. This is also in my makeup use up, and again, just want to try to hit pan on at least one shade in here. I'm starting to get some dips going. I use this all the time. So I love this. That's the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia. That's staying for sure. This one is staying for sure. The Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons. I love this palette. I've talked about it a ton. I have a video on my channel called my top 5, what was it? My top 5 permanent palettes. And this was in there because I love it. Okay, this one I haven't had a chance to use it yet. The Makeup Revolution Redemption eyeshadow palette. I actually put this in my everyday makeup for this week because I want to start, like I want to know if I like the shadows or not. So I believe these are all matte. Haven't tried it yet. If I hate it, I will probably get rid of it just because I have so much and it's very neutral. It's like a lot of stuff I own. I like the Naked 2. I don't use it very much, but I want to start using it more again because I really do like the shades in here. I like the tones in here. Let's just talk about all the Naked palettes at once. So there's the Naked 1. You know, it's such a great palette. I love it. I hardly ever use it though, just because I have so many palettes and I would like to use this more. But I'm definitely keeping that. And then Naked 3, where are you, you little bastard? I hate this palette. I hate it. I hate the quality of it. It doesn't work on my skin tone. They don't blend properly. I don't know what it is about this palette, and no, this is not a knockoff. I bought it myself from a Sephora store. It just does not work for me. I've talked about it in Makeup Regrets videos before, so I'm gonna give this, I told my niece, I'm gonna give it to her. She has very fair skin. I think it will work beautifully on her. It just doesn't work. This one is tough. This is a Marc Jacobs The Dreamer Style Icon number 7. The packaging is okay. This keeps kind of popping open on its own a lot, but it is beautiful, kind of sleek packaging. I like it. It does have a mirror. That's what the shades look like. I dropped it once and that portion of that brown shade shattered a lot. You guys, I don't like this palette. I just don't like it. I do like this brown. I think it's nice. Very pigmented. These are just too similar to each other, like the shimmery shades and everything. I don't know. I just feel totally uninspired by that palette. It's not that it's bad quality. I just don't like the shades, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. One that I really like that I know not everybody did is this one from Smashbox. This came out I want to say 2015 holiday. I believe so. Yeah, it must have been because it wasn't last year. So this is super bulky packaging. I know that. I do love the packaging. I think it's beautiful colors and everything. You can take these out if you want to, and then they open up. Shade name is on there. You open it up and then you have all this going on. So essentially it looks overwhelming, but if you just follow the lines, that should give you 4 shadows for your eye look and a blush. Or in some cases there's a highlight. There's a couple, and it does say like glow on it, sunset. It tells you cheek, you know, whatever. Yeah, more shades up here for blush. They're just so pretty, and I love these. I think they're great quality. I know a lot of people didn't like this just because the packaging was so bulky, but I love it. I bought this with a gift card my brother-in-law gave me for my birthday, and this is the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. I think they've discontinued this. I don't know. It might still be available. I love this for the summertime. It's just so many fun looks. I don't own any other of the mini Too Faced palettes besides this one, but I like the quality on this one. That blackberry shade is so pretty. I love it. That's a beautiful matte for like kind of in the outer V, even into the crease. You got some nice highlight shades. Like, it's just, you can do a lot with this if you like color. So I love this palette. I'm definitely going to keep it. I'm still playing around with this one. I put this in my Bought It Forgot It right now, and I don't know. I just don't know. I like it, but I don't use it, but I'm going to keep it. I still feel like I haven't given this enough shots, enough chances, and I just feel like I need to. This is from Sleek. It's the Eye Divine palette in Au Natural. I know some people love Sleek eyeshadows. I've heard some people hate them. I'm in the hate them camp, but I've only ever tried this one. These just were a nightmare to blend. And even like the shades that are more metallic, like this one for example, looks beautiful in a swatch, but I can't really get it to work on the lid. And this is just a frustrating palette to me, and I do not like it. This one you could tell how much I use it based on how dusty it is, which is never. If that grosses you out, me rubbing it on there, sorry. That's just what I did. The packaging on this is really pretty. So this is the Stila Eyes Are the Window to the Spirit palette. I did a whole video tutorial on this one, and you know, honestly, it was a struggle at the time. You know, I was pretty new to YouTube, and I think I was a bit afraid to go against the grain and say that I didn't really like it that much, but the truth is I really did not like it at the time either. I just find it extremely difficult to work with. The shadows are not pigmented. Now, that said, there are some people out there who like a light wash of color, and if you like that, you might like this, but to me, with the price tag, it's not worth it. So the only shade that I really like in here is Steal a Kitten, but I have that in a single. There's no reason for me to keep this. I'll probably either pass that along to somebody or try to sell it. This one I hate. This is the NYX Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette. This was $25 at the drugstore, which is not cheap. Or was it $29? It was either $25 or $29. Packaging is great, I have to say. Like, I like the black acrylic. I like the packaging on this a lot. It's got a really nice mirror. It slides out, so it's very kind of compact. Sorry, I just had a bite of granola bar. But these are not good quality. Some of the blushes are okay, some of them are terrible and chalky and not good. These are all powdery mess. I really hate these highlighters. Like, it's just, can you just see that? How bad that is? It's just terrible. And these, again, a total nightmare to blend with. I really hated this a lot. So I'm just gonna get rid of that one for sure. This is the NYX Wanderlust London palette. They came out with different city names around Christmas time. Again, $25 for this. Like, NYX is not cheap at the drugstore. It does have a nice mirror in it. It came with the soft matte lip cream, which I like. And these shades were a little bit easier to work with than that palette. And I do kind of like this palette. I don't love it. I like it. I think they're decent quality. I think the price was outrageous though. I think, if I remember right, I think I got mine on sale for $19.99, which, you know, still a little bit hard to swallow, but I did it, I bought it. And I think it's okay. I actually kind of like this shade here. It's a little bit more unique than everything else in the palette. It's not like the most pigmented, but it can be built up. So I will keep this a little bit longer at least. This one here, the BH Party Girl, I had never used this. Like, literally never. The only, like, I feel like I should keep it because I haven't used it and I should give it a chance. But every time I swatch them, like, that has no pigment whatsoever. Like, it's just not good. That one's a little bit better. Let's try a green. Oh, that one's a little bit better. I don't know. It's very hit and miss when I swatch them. Like, some of them are garbage quality and then some of them are just okay, but nothing is blowing my mind. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Normally I wouldn't get rid of something that I haven't tried, and I don't want you to think it's because it's BH Cosmetics and because it's cheap. It's just that swatching it does not make me want to even try it. You know, I kind of have this philosophy in a way that every day is a new opportunity to put on my makeup, and I hate being disappointed. Even though I like trying new things, if I use something that I think was garbage that day, it makes me sad because I feel like I wasted a day of wearing makeup, which maybe sounds dumb to some of you, but that's kind of how I feel. And so when I look at something like this and how badly pigmented some of them are, I'm just like, you know what? I just don't want to bother with that. This here is an Empty Z palette, so obviously gonna keep that. I think these ones are all really great, so let's just go through them quickly. The Estee Edit, this is from Christmas 2016, so mirror on each side. You got 6 beautiful shades on each side. This is more the eye side, and this is more the face side. I think there still might be some of these left. It didn't sell all that well. I don't know why. It's fantastic quality. Like, swatching it, they're just really beautiful. So I don't know why it didn't really sell that well. I talked about it a ton. I'm sure you guys know if you've been here for a while. But I think it's still available on the Canadian website. So, but I'm definitely keeping that one. These are all my MAC shadows, and that's it for what I own from MAC, and I do use them, I do like them. This one is one of my all-time favorite palettes ever, and it was limited edition, so I can't really use it on my channel, but this one I take anytime I travel. This is the palette I take with me. This is a World Traveler Shadow Couture palette from Anastasia. There's a huge dip in this shade. This is probably my favorite shade in here. There are some in here that are from the permanent line, like the singles that you can get, like Fudge, for example, is a beautiful pigmented chocolatey brown. It's beautiful. Soft Peach Morocco is one of my favorites. I love that one. I know a lot of people like the shade Pink Champagne, and you can buy that in a single. This is just so to die for, and I feel sorry for those of you that can't get it because it's probably like my favorite palette ever. I love it so much. This was a limited edition from 2016 as well. This was the Chloe Morello Ciate Pretty Fun and Fearless palette. It's really pretty packaging. You can see it's a little bit messy. The metallics I like. They are slightly finicky to work with. You do have to wet your brush, and I don't know, they're just not the easiest to work with, but they look pretty when they're on the lid. But the mattes are beautiful. They blend so well, so easily. You can tell I've used this a ton. Definitely keeping that one. Let's move to these for a second. So these are the NYC Lavatics by Demi eyeshadow palette. So this one was Natural, Showtime, and Night Out. These were really hard to find. I did a full review on all three of these, so full swatches, everything. These two I think were limited edition, but they were so hard to come by anyway that a lot of people were saying they couldn't even find them. This one they still sell in my Walmart with the NYC cosmetic stuff. I like all three of them. The natural one though, I just feel like these are the shades that I have in everything else. Obviously it's kind of like trying to dupe the Naked palette, so I think this one I'm gonna let go of. But these two I feel like are so different that I like, and I like the quality enough where I want to keep them. So these are definitely staying. This Lorac 2 palette, I've never really figured out how to use these properly. I'm gonna keep this, but I need to play with it more. This shade here, Snow, is just so beautiful for an inner quarter highlight though. I just love that shade so much. Look at how pretty that is. There are a lot of shades when I look at them singularly that I go, oh, that's gorgeous. Like for example, Chrome, and they are soft and buttery, but I don't know, I just found them very hard to do an eye look with. But I don't want to let it go yet. I want to try it more. If you guys have tips, let me know. Obviously, this is not going anywhere. Shade and Light Eye from Kat Von D. You would think I never use this because it still looks pretty new, but I use it all the time. So that's that. And then the Monarch palette. Look at how gorgeous this packaging is. I thought this was still available, but I guess it's now been discontinued. But it's so pretty. I love that so much. Let's talk about these for a second. The world famous neutrals from Benefit. So these are cute little packaging, pretty, like, you know, Benefit, they like to do packaging a certain way, and that's kind of what you have here. So you have 4 shadows pressed and then 2 cream shadows. This one in particular, the world famous neutrals in, which one? Sexiest Nudes Ever, and then this one is called Most Glamorous Nudes Ever. I like this shade so much that I want to keep this entire palette just for that one shade, and that's saying a lot because I don't normally do that. But this shade Blingo is like the most beautiful silver I've ever worn on my eyes, and when I do wear it, I just am astounded by how pretty it is. But this one, I put this in my regrets. I used this a lot when I first bought it. You could tell there's like a big dip in this one called It's Complicated, which is kind of like a pretty peachy orange shade, but on the lid, like, it doesn't even show up that well. I don't know. I just never really got much good use out of this, so I'm gonna pass this one along. This Stila in the Moment palette. I bought this on clearance from Sephora when they were clearing them out, and I have like almost never used this. I think I've used it twice. So I'm just gonna pass this one along. Let me just swatch this. Yeah, see, even the pigmentation, that purple, is not that good. I did not like this very much. And I remember that this was like dried out when I first got it. I'm sure it's dried out now. Oh no, it was broken. That's right. It was broken when it came to me. Yeah, it's completely dried out. So I'm gonna throw this away, and then this can go to somebody else. This one is the Laura Mercier Daring by Day palette. This came out holiday 2015, although I think it's still available as well. I guess people didn't really like it that much. I bought this with birthday money my grandmother had given me, and I wanted to buy a palette that whenever I used it, I would think about her. So there's no way I'm getting rid of this because of that reason. However, it's definitely not my favorite. I will tell you this though, this blush is one of the most beautiful blushes ever, like ever. I have it in a single as well. It's one of my favorite blushes. It's called Lotus Pink. The highlight in here is actually quite pretty if I remember correctly as well. Yeah, and you can use that as a lid shade as well. I've said as well a bunch of times, sorry guys. But I'm definitely keeping it just because like I said, this one is gonna go. This is from Pure. It's a Night Fantasy Night Look eyeshadow palette. It did have a white counterpart. It came in a duo, but I gave that to somebody for Christmas. Again, just not cohesive. To me, like, these are beautiful shades. I'll swatch them and you'll be like, oh yeah, those are gorgeous. Right? Like, they're very pretty. But again, not a cohesive palette. There's only one matte in this palette and it's this gray. Like, how does that work with this? I guess maybe you were supposed to use it with the white palette in conjunction, but you shouldn't have to use two palettes together, in my opinion. I don't know. I just don't like this, so I'm gonna get rid of that. The quality on Pure eyeshadows, though, as far as I can tell from that, is pretty good. This is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I wish that this wasn't a sleeve. I wish that it was just like this with that design because it's a beautiful design. And then inside, I know this is gonna throw off everything in the camera because it's this metallic gold, but the palette is gorgeous. The mattes are beautiful to work with. I love this. I've used it a ton. And I think I'm gonna just declutter these two because, you know, they kind of suck and everything. Yeah, April Fools. Was that a really lame joke? There is no way these are going anywhere. Natasha Denona Green Brown palette. I love this. I've been using it to death. It's so good. It's so good. I know it's super expensive. I got mine because a friend sold it to me at a deep discount. Otherwise, I never would have had the funds to buy it. And I get that. Not everybody can. But, geez, Natasha Denona palettes are beautiful. And then this, like, could you imagine decluttering this? I can't imagine anybody ever decluttering the Mi Vida Loca palette. This came out 2015 holiday. And it's just so gorgeous. I've used this so many times. Like, there is a deep dip there, there's a deep dip there, there's a deep dip there. It's just so beautiful, well put together, so fun to use, so inspiring to use. It's just incredible and amazing. And so that is never going away, ever. Okay, so just going back to the only maybe that I had, which is this Buxom palette, I'm gonna give this away. Somebody else will enjoy this. There's no sense in me keeping it when I don't enjoy it, even though I'm sure a lot of you would like to see me keep it because they are good quality and there's no argument there. It's just that I just don't get inspired and I feel guilty seeing this in my drawer when I know I don't use it. So I'm gonna pass this along to somebody who will love it and use it. So from here, this way is what I am keeping, and from here, actually, here, that way is what is going away. I knew I wasn't gonna get rid of more than 50%, but I think I did a pretty decent job. Sorry, I know the lighting in here is not the best, but that is everything put back there. I knew I wasn't really gonna get rid of much from that. Look at that drawer. That is almost empty now. I feel like I almost don't even need to use that drawer for eyeshadow palettes anymore. But yeah, that's it for my eyeshadow declutter. If you haven't yet, check out my declutter playlist because I've decluttered pretty much all of my entire collection, drawer by drawer. So if you like declutters, that will be linked in the description bar below. Don't forget to give this video one of those stupid thumbs ups because that does help me out a lot and I really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already, if you think I'm good enough to subscribe to and not too goofy and ridiculous. But yeah, that's it for today. So thanks so much for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.